Welcome back, everybody. We are live again. Part 2 coverage here on June 29th, 2026. I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma with Michigan Storm Chasers. We are live for a severe thunderstorm warning up in northern Michigan. We had a couple storms that came through the Leelanau, Antrim, and Otsego County areas a short while ago this morning. That currently right now, we'll talk about it here in just a second, some flash flooding ongoing and some reports of some large hail. But we will go ahead and jump into the details here as everyone is starting to jump in here. New severe thunderstorm warning now in for portions of northern lower. National Weather Service in Gaylord has issued this severe thunderstorm warning for west central Sheboygan County and central Emmett County in northern Michigan. This is in effect until 1:15 p.m. At 12:32, a severe thunderstorm was located over Pleasant View or near Pellston, moving east at 25 miles per hour. One second here as I still am setting up the stream just a little bit. Again, this is our part 2 coverage for today. We'll see how many more periods of coverage we have here in the coming hours, especially since we do have storms popping up here and there throughout the day. Again, we still have a couple storms that are moving through portions of the western UP. You can't see them on the radar right now, but there are a couple of stronger storms that are on Lake Superior at the current time. Nothing warned, but they did have previous special marine warnings in effect. Once again, if you are just tuning in now, feel free to hit that like button. Helps the stream get out to more of our fellow Michiganders. In effect, here until 1:15 p.m., again, it's portions of central Sheboygan and central Emmett counties for 60-mile-per-hour wind and quarter-size hail. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Wind damage to roof siding and trees also possible. For timing, this severe thunderstorm will be near Pellston, Allenson, Brutus, and Odin around 12:35 p.m. Burt Lake around 12:40. Indian River 12:45 and Burt Lake State Park as early as 1 o'clock. We also have Riggsville in this severe thunderstorm warning. For protection, move to interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Once again, moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour. And I need the storm vectors on this for my velocity data, so I'll type those in real quick. There we go. So we'll take a look at our VIL product, which kind of hones in on those hail cores a little bit better than our general reflectivity radar. And as you can see right now, it's just one elongated region across portions of central Emmett County at the current time, producing this, what could be 1-inch hail, and of course, gusty winds. Looking right now at the wind field, first and foremost, not seeing anything in particular that kind of stands out. It's kind of a precautionary 60-mile-per-hour wind severe thunderstorm warning. The main thing right now is going to be the correlation coefficient radar, which shows us kind of the jagged precipitation that is falling in portions of the atmosphere. There's a little bit of these oranges and yellows mixing in with our surrounding violets. Again, where you see these pixels that are changing over to this yellowish, orangish tint, sometimes green, that is going to be your hail. Better represented, of course, by our VIL product out there, where there are some cores all up and down this line here. Again, on reflectivity radar, heaviest precipitation, which I'm showing you guys right now, is going to be shown in the pinks. And again, that precipitation is about the size of your thumb, maybe a little bit smaller, maybe just the thumbnail. But again, there's a lot of freezing going on just above our heads today, and it doesn't take much for these cores to shoot up and then come crashing back down as these 1-inch hailstones or greater. And so we do have 1-inch hail listed in this severe thunderstorm warning. Latest scan does actually pick up the wind just a little bit here over on Middle Village Road. That's going to be Middle Village Road near North Hannah Road. That's right outside of Goodart. That could be a downburst signature where the storm is collapsing in that specific spot and the wind is spreading out in all directions. So keep in mind there. Harbor Springs, this is pretty close to you guys. You guys aren't technically in this warning. That orange box just skids right past north side of downtown. But again, keep it in mind, this could wobble just a little bit to the south. It is back building just a tad. But for the most part today, these storms have actually headed pretty much due east. There was a little bit of uncertainty this morning with that first storm that came on shore. Or there was a little bit of east-south-eastward movement, but once these storms have come on shore, they have pretty much tracked straight east. Again, the storm earlier crossed portions of northern Leelanau, northern Antrim, and it didn't take until it got to Gaylord before it started traveling a little bit to the southeast, southeast. Now it's over by Atlanta. So that was that thunderstorm earlier that we were watching. And in fact, it's actually starting to get another core on it. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Main concern, though, going back up to the north here right now is this severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Emmett and Sheboygan counties. Make it stop for Antrim County. We wish. We absolutely wish. Get the stream pulled in here so I can pull up some of the chat. Thank you, Evan, for the jewels. Appreciate you. And Lindsay as well. The main concern, if you guys didn't see it, posted on our Facebook page and X page a short while ago, there is a mesoscale discussion in effect for portions of northern Michigan. Let me see if it pops on here. There we go. In this tan zone right now, that is the area that they are monitoring for a potential severe thunderstorm watch. But the chances of a severe thunderstorm watch are only 20%. So not too much confidence in a severe thunderstorm watch, but granted, warnings are better than a watch, meaning that you should be taking shelter if you see a warning versus a watch. And that's what we have out there right now for portions of Emmett County and Sheboygan County. Another thing you'll notice, what happens when I zoom out? You can't even see the storm because on radar, there's a lot of lightning out there. There's a lot of instability out there today. These storms are very tall. In fact, if you take a look at the echo tops on these storms, the storm tops right now 50,000 feet. That's pretty tall. And so again, it's a lot of instability out there today to be used up. And so a lot of instability is going towards the lightning factor. You just saw another update there. Every single one of these little lightning bolts is a cloud to ground bolt across the area, or at least cloud to cloud, significant cloud to cloud lightning. And you can just see, again, if you zoom out, it's basically these entire areas that are being covered in lightning. So right now, Emmett County, the entire central portion of Emmett County just covered and blanketed in lightning. So even if you're not seeing the severe hail or the severe wind right now, deadly lightning is ongoing out there. We don't say that term often, but deadly lightning is ongoing. Also, if you're up here on Beaver Island and St. James, on the lakes right now, again, these blue boxes you see on your screen are your special marine warnings. If you are out boating, probably should be taking shelter in safe harbor if you can. That is what that special marine warning does denote, those blue boxes. And these are in effect for those that large hail and 34 knots of wind, which is severe for the waters. But again, same thing going on up there. A lot of lightning around Beaver Island and surrounding islands. And this storm is heading towards eventually Mackinac City, Mackinac Island, St. Ignace. You guys may be, if you know anyone that, especially this time of the year, it's huge tourism season right now in Michigan. If you know anybody that is actually in Mackinac City, St. Ignace, or maybe getting on a boat, getting ready to head over to the island, again, that could be a severe thunderstorm heading your way in due time within the next half hour. So again, something to keep in mind here if you are in the Straits and you are either a tourist or you're local. And again, also heading over towards Sheboygan in due time. But right now we're watching the southern storm, which is going to stay south of Mackinac City and Mackinac Island at the current time. This is heading into Pellston right now, heading over towards Topinabe with time. Topinabe, not in a warning yet, but you guys are on the edge. That warning kind of butts right on up to I-75 at the current time. But not anywhere east of I-75. In fact, that edge is going to be Indian Trail Road. That's where the edge of the warning butts up to. So this is the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state right now. All of our actions staying up north for the most part today. I'll turn off our mesoscale discussion there just to avoid confusion. Right now, just one severe thunderstorm warning. It's for this storm that is in Emmett County. We're watching very closely because these hail cores, they blossom really, really quickly, and then they come down really, really quickly. And we saw that earlier. I was going to actually go into that in just a second, but again, it's maybe 3 scans, 4 scans at most, and all of a sudden, suddenly you have ping pong ball-sized hail just everywhere coating the ground. You get a little bit of hail fog out there too, if it does coat the ground. So you have to be very, very mindful of today's atmosphere. The hail that does fall out there could be pretty large in nature. The hail core on this is up to around 40,000 feet right now, which is somewhat what we saw with some of the storms earlier this morning across portions of northern Michigan. And so this could be another situation here where we have more ping pong ball sized hail perhaps falling soon. Not saying yet, but it won't take much for that updraft to finally collapse down on itself and produce some wind and some hail here between Goodhart and Harbor Springs, heading over towards the Pellston and Allenson area. Hello again. Welcome in our Northern Michigan viewers. If you know anyone up here in the Charlevoix, well, kind of north of Charlevoix, more of the Emmett, Sheboygan, and well, yeah, it's primarily Emmett and Sheboygan counties right now. You guys are in the thick of it, and that's about it. So if you know anybody up this way, especially if you know anyone visiting from out of state, perhaps. I know, again, as I mentioned here, big tourism season ongoing in Michigan right now. A lot of people traveling up I-75, US 23, US 131, all heading up here or visiting or traveling away now from, perhaps if you've already visited, away from the St. Ignace or Mackinac City area. A lot of travelers. If you know anybody in this area, local or from out of state, you want to tell them, hey, you got to watch out. There's some large hail that could be falling soon. And again, this core down here to the south is the one we're watching right now. If you're traveling south on US 131, or actually that's 31 through here. US 31 ends in Petoskey, but 31. From really between Levering and Allenson, that is a place where you want to stop and wait it out. Just kind of pull off to the side of the road. Do not block the roadway. That's legal to do, obviously, so don't do that. But again, Levering and Allenson, if you're in between that stretch right now, you want to be off the roadway, avoiding that hail if possible. And again, this is going to be heading over towards I-75 soon. Between the Levering Road exit all the way down, the warning goes all the way down to Indian River. And so that big old cell you see on screen here is going to be heading your way within the next half hour or less. So again, if you're up to the straits here, nothing ongoing yet for severity. But St. Ignace, Mackinac City, heading over towards Mackinac Island. We have to watch this big cell over Lake Michigan right now. That is on and north of Beaver Island in St. James, with a lot of lightning as well, but also a hail and wind risk that is heading your way. Current time, if you're just tuning in, at the bottom of the screen there, 12:46 p.m. I am Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma, live with Michigan Storm Chasers. Glad to have you on this morning. If you're watching and staying weather aware with us, we appreciate you. Watching a hail-producing cell here in Emmett County. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was going to say, if you have the cameras pulled up, Petoskey has a beautiful view right now.
I do not. That will be you if you do have it. Yep, there's the collapsing of the core right now. That's happening right now on Palmer Road at Cetas Road, spelled C-E-T-A-S. That's how I would typically pronounce it. Also Gregory Road and Robinson Road. This core is collapsing on itself right now. You can see the correlation coefficient just upticks just a tad. Again, a lot of wind actually in this one as well. Wind and hail starting to come crashing down to the surface right now, about 5 miles to the east of Goodhart, about 7 miles to the north of Harbor Springs. It's in this area here of west central Emmett County, in between, pretty much halfway between Goodhart and Pellston. And again, that's collapsing out right now. The GR2 indicator, Ryan, 2.5 inches possible here. The warning right now, of course, for 1-inch hail, but the hail core on this up to 40,000 feet, kind of similar to what we saw earlier. And we're starting to see those greens and blues start to pick up now on our correlation coefficient radar, where likely some larger hail could be falling.
Yeah, the same storm this morning that went on live for earlier had the exact same marker. I think it got like to 2.91 at one point.
Yeah.
So these cores on these storms are incredible this morning. Or it's actually afternoon now. I keep saying this morning, but it's been a long night.
Indeed. I actually did not read the full text of the mesoscale discussion. I did see hail was the threat. But again, supercellular characteristics means it'll make that shape. or they look like supercells with a backwards C shape. In fact, this one in Emmett County is starting to make that or have that look to it as well. Again, with the supercells, you often get your largest hail events, and so that is right now what the mesoscale discussion is in effect for 1 to 1.75 inch hail possible across the region. We are looking for your hail reports. We're also looking for your flooding reports from earlier. I will actually table just real quickly before I come back to the storm. If you guys have flooding reports from northern Leelanau, Antrim, or Charlevoix counties earlier, there is a flash flood warning in effect for both of these areas in the green you see on your screen. A lot of areas here, 3 to 5 inches of rain have fallen, maybe even a little bit more. No more extra rain is falling right now, but that rain's got to flow somewhere. And so if you know you're downstream from areas that are prone to like low level flooding, it's a good idea to keep an eye on that. I'm seeing a couple of streams, especially in the Central Lake area right now, that have rose over a foot in the last hour or two in Central Lake. So keep that in mind. There's also a couple roadways that are now closed due to flooding in Central Lake area. So keep that in mind. That was a storm that passed through earlier. That storm is now all the way over south of Hillman. That storm also did produce 1.75 inch hail, as you can see on the marker here in the center of the screen. Earlier in Elba, that was an unwarned storm. We mentioned it on our Facebook page here at MSC. As soon as it popped up, we saw that core collapsing, kind of similar to what's happening right now in Emmett County. So you got to be on alert. So we posted that out there, and hopefully you guys were able to take shelter from that 1.75 inch hail that did fall earlier in the Elba area. But right now, it's kind of the same thing that's ongoing right now. In between Pellston and Goodhart, core is collapsing. So that's going to bring down some wind and some hail really quickly. And unfortunately, again, core up to around 40,000 feet. Unfortunately, the scans, they are not in the hyperscan right now this morning. So the radar scans are 5 minutes apart. We have to wait 5 minutes between radar scans. And a lot can happen in 5 minutes, as you know, in these severe thunderstorms. So we are kind of at the mercy of the National Weather Service office in Gaylord, and if they decide to speed up the radar or not. Quite the core there between Goodhart, Pellston, and Harbor Springs, that little triangle of excellence. Waiting for a new velocity scan to come in, see if that changes any of the wind. Okay, the wind is a little bit more timid now. The greens and the reds have gotten a little bit duller. They're still there. Still in the vicinity of East Robinson Road, approaching Pleasant View Road. It's Pleasant View near Tower. So getting closer to Pellston at the current time. Pellston's also already dealing with the thunder, lightning, rain, and perhaps some small hail. The main core is located out here just to the west of town. As mentioned, though, multiple cores inside of the storm that could collapse at any time. So if you are anywhere inside of this orange box right now, you are in that severe thunderstorm warning, and you should be sheltering away from windows if possible at this current time. Still watching the storm up to the north at Beaver Island, heading straight to the east as well. Storm motion on this, by the way, if you guys are just tuning in, around 25 miles per hour. So if you know you live east downstream, you do have some time to prepare, but it's not a whole lot. So right now, St. Ignace, Mackinac City, these storms are still over on northern Lake Michigan, so you still got about a half hour to maybe 60 minutes. These storms are approaching very soon, and there's also a considerable lightning threat out there today. As a reminder, we mentioned this earlier in our stream, the lightning, you don't get severe thunderstorm warnings for lightning barrages, where you have just thousands upon thousands upon thousands of lightning strikes happening every single minute. Again, no warnings happen for that. So even if you don't have a warning right now, if you're up in the Mackinac City area, St. Ignace area, again, being out in these open waters or being outside, just, touring some of the shops out there, not a great idea when you have thousands of strikes happening every minute, as denoted here on radar. So not a good idea. If you know you have to travel across the boat to and from the island, Gonna be cutting it close. In fact, the lightning is already approaching the Mackinac Bridge. There's a couple strikes actually striking very close to Mackinac City and St. Ignace right now. So you really only have about 5 to 10 minutes before the lightning is starting to overtake the Straits region. And as mentioned to the south, Emmett County, it's already there. Sheboygan County, it's already there. And in fact, some of this lightning is stretching from the severe thunderstorm warning all the way east towards Huron Beach. And so it could be light rain, and you could still be getting some decent cloud-to-ground lightning bolts in between Sheboygan and Harbor Beach right now. So that same stuff could be happening up here in Mackinac City in a matter of minutes or even seconds. So being out on the water right now is actually not a good idea, even if you are downstream from the special marine warning shown in blue. Very electric afternoon. Go ahead and check in on the Upper Peninsula. There is a couple storms that we were monitoring up here on Lake Superior. These storms have continued to kind of just travel up Lake Superior. At the current time, nothing else to report on. At the current time, there was a special marine warning. In fact, that has been canceled. Going to be watching these storms here as they travel up to the northeast. Keweenaw County, as a reminder, does involve, of course, the mainland and Isle Royale itself. So if there is a warning for Keweenaw County, including the island, we will we will stay live or go live if this warning gets issued for the portions of Isle Royale. So even though there is no one actually living on Keweenaw Peninsula and the reception up there is very bad, we will still be tracking live, especially if people know somebody up there on the island. So keep that in mind. Also tracking a couple other complexes that may be possible later this afternoon and evening across portions of Minnesota. These will travel towards the Upper Peninsula later this evening. And right now, as you can see, there's already a destructive severe thunderstorm warning out here for 80-mile-per-hour winds and 2-inch hail south of Grand Rapids, Minnesota, north of Minneapolis. And again, that's going to be heading over towards Duluth in time and eventually the Upper Peninsula. So that is that's a very powerful line right there. Wow. Never really want to see that type of blue on radar. In fact, there's some purples there of perhaps 100-mile-per-hour winds on radar at about, let's say, 8,500 feet up. But some of that is absolutely mixing to the ground in a day like today where there's a ton of instability out there in D-Cape, as we call it. So again, if you know anybody in northern Minnesota, destructive severe thunderstorm warning, in fact, for 80-mile-per-hour winds up there. But we'll go back down here to Michigan where the severe thunderstorm warning is affecting us. And most of the action today is going to stay to the north. So if you are really south of US 10 here, you're not going to get a whole lot today. We kind of have this pattern of storms kind of going up and down through northern Michigan. And eventually, of course, more complexes approaching from the west later tonight. Also, flooding is a threat. If you see flooded roadways, turn around, do not drown. Even 3 to 6 inches of water can drift your car off the road if it is fast moving. Looks like the core is kind of completing its splashdown process. It looks like it's definitely collapsing. The hail core is still up around 30 to 40,000 feet in some locations here. Wow, there's even 42,000 feet still. But it is collapsing down right now. Hopefully hopefully in the next 5 to 10 minutes it is kind of wrapping itself up. But it's a pretty powerful storm. Well worth the severe thunderstorm warning, in my opinion. Heading again towards Topinabi, or however it's pronounced. I may be incorrect there. Oops. There we go. Yeah, the storm in Minnesota is tornado warned too. It really doesn't matter if you have a tornado warning or a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. Wind is wind, whether it's rotating or straight lined in nature. Again, it's not going to matter much, especially if it's 80 miles per hour. That's the equivalent of widespread EF0 to EF1 tornado damage happening across a wide area. So if you're in Minnesota right now, south of Grand Rapids, Minnesota, that's the place where I'm talking about here, where you can see on the radar particularly that orange box with the pink outline around it. That is your destructive warning. So we may see that later tonight in the UP. But we'll see. Topinabi? Is that how it's pronounced? Let me know if I got that correct. Topinabi. For places south in Michigan, again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Emmett, Sheboygan counties till 1:15 here. That's the only concern right now. If you're in southern Michigan, no warnings right now. Not really going to be concerned today. If you're in southern Michigan, the heat this week is going to be so powerful. The high pressure system is going to be so powerful that we're not going to get a whole lot of storm complexes down in southern Michigan because, again, that high pressure, it really prevents clouds from building up. Sure, it's going to be humid. Sure, it's going to be very hot. You know, it's usually, that is fuel for storms. In fact, we're going to have probably the most fuel we've seen all year on some of these days this week, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday here in Michigan, especially across the southern lower peninsula. But it's not going to be able to be used because the high pressure is kind of nullifying that out. It's kind of like a reactor where you put a suppressant on it, and it's just kind of holding it down. It's unstable. It's trying to billow, but it's just holding it down. So this week, at least midweek, that high pressure system should keep most of southern Michigan dry, not guaranteeing it, especially if something can sneak through, maybe on like a lake breeze or something. But once that high pressure system starts to break down, we'll see a little bit of that breakdown late this week as we head into 4th of July weekend. That's why some thunderstorm chances are possible Friday into Saturday. That high pressure breaks down. Again, you have all that instability that's, you know, sitting around there. That lid starts to be kind of released a little bit. That's how it's able to kind of take off a little bit greater in nature. And so Friday and Saturday is going to be the place to watch if you're in southern Michigan. Of course, we'll be watching throughout the week if we need to issue more outlooks down in southern Michigan. But for the most part, everything's going to be kind of riding over the top of the heat dome. And that's why a lot of our storm complexes over the next couple of days here are going to be going through portions of northern Michigan. So Upper Peninsula and perhaps extreme northern lower peninsula, which is what we are seeing out there today. What is nice is even though you are dealing with storms, a lot of lightning, a lot of rain, perhaps some flooding, it is keeping the heat at bay. It will prevent those high temperatures from reaching their maximum potential today, especially here across portions of the Straits region, unless we can get some significant heating rebound this afternoon after these storms do pass through. It's going to be hard to get up to those 90-degree heat indices today here in places of the state that have seen constant rain all morning. But the heat dome is very strong. And so don't be surprised, especially if places to the south now, Leelanau, Antrim County, no rain. And it is heating up rather quickly behind it. Let's take a look at our VIL product for that hail core right now, centered on Eyre Road at Tower Road, also stretching up to Robinson Road still, and even as far north as the east-west road of Camp Road. That's Camp Road near Ellie Bridge and Pleasant View. The core kind of went from more west to east oriented to now north and south oriented, which is very interesting. But that does happen in the wonderful world of meteorology. Check out the cloud tops on these. Just the general structure itself, up to around 52,000 feet. The hail core itself, over the Pelson area, up to 40,000 feet. So that's a lot of rain sitting in that freezing layer. That freezing layer today is around 15,000 feet. So if you think about it, that area between 15,000 and 40,000 feet where that's below freezing, all of that rain is turning into supercooled liquid, and all of that rain is clumping together. Eventually, of course, turning into these hailstones that eventually fall out in cores every so often. The rate is rather random. These cores do happen every often 15 to 30 minutes. Sometimes the cycle kind of takes its own time. And so we're kind of just monitoring and watching this on a lot of our different radar products that we use here at MSC, just to see where that core is located in the atmosphere. And right now it's kind of actually building up again directly over Pellston and Allenson, or Allenson or something like that. I think that's how it's pronounced, here in Emmett County. And so we may see another core start to drop out within the next 10 minutes or so once that hail becomes too heavy and suspended in the atmosphere. Tappan-Obi? Okay. I mean, there's no other cities in Michigan with that spelling. And see, I see there's people saying you can just pronounce whatever you want. It doesn't matter. We know where it's at. It makes sense. Um, Tappan-Obi, Alanson, or Alanson. Why is everything so complicated? Why do we have to be this way? My success rate, if you guys are wondering, my success rate in Michigan, in West Michigan specifically, is 100%. That's where I grew up. That's where I'm born and raised. Once you get anywhere outside of West Michigan, it kind of leaves my comfort zone a little bit. So I do kind of have to rely on your help for pronunciations. But yeah, Pellston, Allenson, both in the kind of line of fire for this hail that could be 1 inch in diameter, and of course, 60-mile-per-hour winds also possible. This warning expires in 8 minutes. We'll have to see if they extend the warning for portions of the rest of Sheboygan County. We'll see, though. So if you're in Sheboygan County, you should be making your preparations to take shelter away from windows. Primarily wind-driven hail possible this afternoon. Good news is today there is not really a tornado threat. I mean, obviously there are supercells out there, but the main hazard is going to be hail and a secondary wind threat. So hopefully that'll make you guys feel a little bit better. But again, hail is destructive in its own nature. Damaging winds are destructive in their own nature as well. They kind of all have their own unique punch to them. And so no matter what, if you are in a warning today, you should be taking shelter. If you're in and underneath of thunderstorm today, you should also be taking shelter just because of how much lightning we are seeing with these thunderstorms. Again, this is your peak usual summertime atmosphere out there. These values, these instability values are 4, 5, even 6 times the normal values that you would need for severe weather. And even if the energy that we see out there, those 5 to 6 times the allotted values for energy, may not be used for severe weather, but it is going towards your lightning production. And that is why we are seeing so much lightning across the Straits region today here in northern lower Michigan. LAN network. Thank you, Shane. That makes sense. Tappan-Obi, Alanson. Why is everything just weirdly accented? It doesn't make sense. But Tappan-Obi, it's heading your way still. It's slowly moving away. It's moving at 25 miles per hour, so it's taking a while. But you're starting to see the heavier rain now. Indian River is still getting some light to moderate rain to your south, and the lightning is starting to uptick too around the I-75 corridor. Should hear how I pronounce Lowell. That's my hometown. I wonder how you pronounce it. We had this debate actually because there's obviously a Lowell, Michigan, and a Howell, Michigan. The spelling on those cities are 1 letter off, and they're pronounced two totally different ways. Lowell's spelled like LOL, like Lowell. Howell is more accented. Howell. Howell. like you're howling. So it's not Lowell. I'm getting off track. It's been a long morning. Right off the, for those curious, obviously it was my weekend off, and so Ryan's had you covered this weekend, and snap right back into it here at 7 a.m. coverage or whatever it was. It's been a long night for all of us here at MSC, and a long morning, and now a longish early afternoon. Do we have another core collapse ongoing? Let me check 3D scan here. Kind of. It looks like it is trying to collapse right now on Robinson Road at Dirkalik Road, maybe, in Popel Road. Now the updated scan does have it in Pellston. Correlation coefficient does show a little bit of those oranges and yellows directly over Pellston. So this is in Pellston now, if anything, for the hail. If it is severe hail, of course, 1 inch in diameter. So let us know if you are in Pellston right now and surrounding areas, maybe a little bit north towards Levering area, and maybe about 3 to 4 miles south of Pellston. That's about as large as the hail core is right now. Let us know what you guys are seeing. A lot of hail reports out there today, so we're going to stress this again. Please, when you send in hail reports, please do so with a coin or a ruler or some sort of sports ball or common object next to the hail so we can kind of reference it when we are reporting it to the National Weather Service office. That makes a whole lot of difference. And you guys got to realize the diameter in hail, even a change in 1 inch in diameter goes from, your normal hail that you see all the time to suddenly it's deadly hail. I think penny-sized hail, which is 0.75 inches in diameter, that's decent hail. It's not bad. You add an extra inch to that, 1.75 inch diameter hail, that's golf ball size. And I've seen it firsthand where I've actually sat in golf ball size hail in my vehicle. That leaves dents. And if it can leave dents to a vehicle, it can leave dents to perhaps your skull or just the rest of your body, or maybe your pets that are outside. And so the diameter matters a lot, even in the 1/4 of an inch range. The difference between maybe 1.5 inches to 1 3/4 inches, it's pretty significant in terms of the damage it can do. So that is why we try to tell you guys to measure to the nearest 1/4 inch or even 1/10 of an inch if possible. Even a coin, if you don't have a ruler on you, a coin or a sports ball is very, very helpful. We appreciate you guys. If you guys are watching from downstate for a little bit of just, I guess, a video to watch to get you through your day. I know a lot of people do that watch from other places in the state. So if you guys are tuning in from an area of the state that is not being impacted by severe weather, welcome in. We appreciate you guys for tuning in and supporting operations here at MSC, and of course staying weather aware, especially if you have friends and family up north that might be traveling. It's a good idea to pass that information along, and especially here in peak tourism season, as I keep alluding to here, a lot of visitors right now up north. The cabin, obviously another thing. We have 4th of July weekend coming up. A lot of people already are, taking this week off, especially since it's, America's 250th birthday this year. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be going hard. It's just human nature. A lot of people traveling north, a lot of people going up these same roads today, taking the entire week off. And so something to keep in mind, plus tourism season. A lot of people right now in Mackinac City, St. Ignace, Mackinac Island, trying to take the boat across. A lot of lightning out there right now. A lot of hail also ongoing. These hazards need to be monitored if you are traveling in these vicinities. Also a decent amount of wind trying to mix in at the current time in both of these cells. The one that is severe warn in Emmett and western central Sheboygan, but also the cell that is on northern Lake Michigan, heading into the far northwest corner of Emmett County, maybe even graze southern portions of Mackinac County here in the Upper Peninsula very shortly. But right now, it's primarily just a Emmett and Sheboygan County issue in the central portions of the county, with trailing storm right behind it in the northern half of those counties. Dirkalik. I think I said that. I think I said that correctly. Road names, the road names, I'm not going to worry too much on pronunciations because I'm not really going to have to memorize them. but the city names are a little bit more important because you say them a lot more often. So try to do a good job at that. But even as native Michiganders our entire lives, we still struggle with some of our own in-house names. So need an updated scan here. I'm getting curious. These 5-minute
Hey,
scans
Joel.
not doing it for me this morning. Go ahead, Ryan.
A lot of your reports coming in from Cross Village, Good Heart areas of flash flooding ongoing. We have water entering homes and basements in that area.
Okay, I will.
I already relayed.
As I say, that's probably a good idea to do that. I'm assuming if you have videos, it'll probably be up on the page as well.
Yeah, if you guys have any videos of flooding ongoing, feel free to message us. I'm in Messenger right now, keeping up to date. So if you guys have any reports of damage, flooding, hail, anything, feel free to send it in.
Yeah, a lot of
radar estimated rain between 3 and 4 inches in the area.
I don't know why I just got an unknown alert from Midland County. I'll have to look into that. I was there yesterday.
Yeah, I've
too.
got that the past 2 days.
Yeah, going back to radar here, is another reminder. Obviously, you have the main hazard, the main severe hazards of hail and wind. But another thing is, of course, the lightning and, of course, the flash flooding. Anything you see on radar that is in the reds and the pinks, that is going to be your heavy rain droplets. And as you can see, if I loop the radar here, which I'm doing right now, these storms are trending over the same area. And these rainfall rates that you see in the reds and the pinks are often 2 inches per hour or greater in some locations, especially with the Pewat valleys. I haven't checked the Pewat valleys, but I would imagine they're probably up with how much humidity we are at, probably over at least 1.5 inches today here across the area. So that's just going to contribute to those very heavy rainfall rates across the area and training over the same location. I mean, we saw this firsthand, Leelanau County, 5.5 inches of rain over like 3.5 hours. So it's very clearly going to be an issue here for Emmett County very shortly, and probably Sheboygan County within the next hour or two. So be advised, flash flooding is likely for these two counties just mentioned, as we are now out of severe weather operations with the expiration of the severe thunderstorm warning for Emmett and Sheboygan. So in effect,
The PW values are 1.8 to 1.9.
Ooh, that is humid. There you go. Flood advisory coming in right now, Ryan. Read off the details on this here in just a second. Flood advisory in effect till 4:30 p.m. primarily for central portions of Emmett County and extreme west central Sheboygan County. Minor flooding is occurring in low-lying and poor drainage areas. Also, the overflowing of poor drainage areas. Additional details read at 1:17. Doppler radar indicated very heavy rain due to thunderstorms. Minor flooding is ongoing or expected to begin in the advisory area. 1 to 3 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of around 0.2 to 0.5 of an inch are expected over the area in the additional minutes to come. This will also induce more minor flooding. In this flood advisory is Pellston, Pleasant View, Smutsonville, Brutus, and Goodart. Turn around, don't drown when encountering flooded roadways. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Also, it says in hilly terrain, there are hundreds of low water crossings, which are potentially dangerous in heavy rain. Do not attempt to cross flooded roads. Find an alternate route. So that's the flood advisory coming in right now for 1 to 3 inches that has fallen in Emmett County, central Emmett County, with more rain on the way with this storm that is still back building here on Lake Michigan. I know it says 0.2 to 0.5 of an inch, but with these 1 to 2 inch rainfall rates at the speeds of 25 miles per hour, I would imagine probably another inch is possible here within the next half hour for portions of Emmett County. So even though it does say another 2 to 0.5 of an inch, I would say maybe even closer to an inch. You can visibly see it back building right now, south of Beaver Island. We are no longer in severe ops. The Warning expired officially at 1:15. Go ahead and check in on our comments here. New statement coming in, by the way. An extension of our previously severe thunderstorm warning storm. Thank you, Jacob M, for 1,000 joules. Appreciate you. Go ahead and read the details on the statement in just a second here. I'll get the details on my phone because it doesn't pop up on my radar, but that's okay. So strong thunderstorm will impact northwestern Sheboygan and east central Emmett counties through 1:45 p.m. At 1:20, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Pellston, moving east at 25 miles per hour. They're going 40-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-sized hail, which is just below severe limits. As radar indicated, gusty winds can knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Minor hail damage is possible to vegetation. Sheboygan, Pellston, Indian River, Allenson, Brutus, or Lanson, sorry. Top in Obby, jeez. Burt Lake, Levering, Mullet Lake, Burt Lake State Park, and Riggsville, all in the special weather statement. Frequent cloud to ground lightning and torrential rainfall also occurring with a thunderstorm. Be advised, be inside, and also avoid low-lying areas. You'll see I imagine the special weather statements can probably be on our Facebook page in just a second so you guys can see the physical shape of that statement, but it does include pretty much all of west central Sheboygan County.
It's been posted.
Thank you. And we'll take any reports you guys have up here in Emmett, Sheboygan County, whether it is damage due to lightning, damage due to wind, damage due to hail, or flash flooding. So there's 4 different possible hazards ongoing this morning here in extreme northern lower Michigan. Again, this is the tip of the mitt, some people call it. My stream switcher, or my scene switcher is cooked, Ryan.
I can't see what you're doing, so.
No, I'm not doing anything. I'm trying just to get my scene switcher to work, and it's just not registering. I think it's probably because I need an update, but we'll see. Yeah. I see Gaylord is confirming another Northport flash flooding report of 4.81 inches. From earlier. Also, Ryan, I see air quality alerts just came in for the west side of the state. I got it on my phone here. So right now we're kind of in the lull. I'll wait and see if there's any more severe thunderstorm warnings coming in. Right now, if you are anywhere in Sheboygan or Emmett County, especially the northern half, a lot of lightning, a lot of flooding ongoing, and of course, a lot of heavy rain ongoing at the current time, especially if you are in Pellston over to Goodhart, Toppin-Nobby, and eventually heading into Sheboygan. Just areas I've just seen flooding historically this year with all the snow that melted quickly. Just more rain. I wouldn't say fuel to the fire, but fuel to the streams. We have Shane S. over here, $10 super chat, saying, Joel, can you take a moment to explain the environment and what it would take to create 110 to 130 mile per hour straight line winds in the South Dakota had this morning? I and a lot of folks were shocked to see that. I would have to check like past mesoanalysis, but my speculation is obviously there's a very strong low-level jet at the top of that ridge that we have ongoing out there. And I would imagine our Cape values mixed with the D Cape values are probably also very strong. I saw some of our models this week for our downdraft capes, the winds that come crashing down. Our downdraft cape value is around 1,500, and in our straight line wind events, we usually want to see that number around 800 to 9,000. Sorry, 800 to 900 there across the area. And so I would imagine that's probably what happened. I do not know because I didn't check the atmosphere. I was asleep, but that's what I would assume is what happened out there in South Dakota. But I don't know if Ryan's listening and wants to chime in on that.
I believe there was also an MCV feature on that.
Okay. It's a little localized pocket of wind / spin there that kind of fueled a little extra. It all comes back to our Cape values, though, our fuel that we have for these storms, especially here right now in the United States, especially in the upper Midwest, where we have these heat, all this humidity and heat, these dew points up in the 80s, water load the atmosphere. It's going to come crashing down, and that's how it does, in the form of wind. If you're just tuning in, no severe thunderstorm warning is in effect right now. We do have a special weather statement in effect for portions of Emmett and Sheboygan. This is for 40 mile per hour wind and nickel-sized hail, which is 0.88 inches in diameter. That is the tan box you now see on your screen. Not the orange one, but the tan one. This is going to continue off to the east at around 25 miles per hour, so relatively slowly. It's a bad thing because, again, there's a lot of heavy rain out there. It's going to result in flash flooding like we're starting to see in portions of Emmett County. And with that ridge pattern that we have ongoing right now, these storms that we do see that will cross the Upper Peninsula this week, especially midweek, they could produce some pretty gusty winds as well. I'm pretty sure, and I know Ryan was mentioning that this morning, but Some of these wind values, again, we can see those destructive winds cross portions of the upper peninsula of 80 miles per hour plus. And again, we can already see that secondary line starting to head our way here in the Duluth region. Looks like it's starting to fall apart just a little bit, but it can find its second wind pretty easily as it moves towards the upper peninsula. And again, more complexes are expected just throughout the next several days here across the upper ridge pattern. So again, upper peninsula and extreme northern lower peninsula. So keep an eye on it. And again, 80 mile per hour winds possible. Very large hail also possible this week with these storms.
Yeah, that current complex looks like it's trying to pull north into Canada. I'd be a little bit more concerned about using outflow boundary for later.
Yeah. And back down to our storms here in Emmett County. The secondary storm that was on northern Lake Michigan has actually sagged south. And you can see it's kind of swinging in from the northwest. And on velocity, I was noticing that myself here. There's a little bit of a low-level jet kind of sneaking back in on the backside. So this could be producing a strong to severe wind threat within the next couple of scans. But again, these scans are 4 to 5 minutes apart right now, and it's not the greatest. It's not fun for us trying to track this weather in real time. See how that progresses. Let's take a look at our correlation coefficient. It looks like, yeah, there's another core starting to crash down here. You can see the latest uptick in the correlation coefficient. It went from pretty much all purples and reds to a lot of oranges and some yellow starting to mix in there. VIL product, oh yeah, there's a core. Same area that got hit about 20 minutes ago. Still can't discount this area of higher rain returns and perhaps some hail returns north of Topinabee. Topinabee. There's so many different pronunciations you guys have been giving me here. Topinabee, just north of you guys, heading kind of in between there and Sheboygan. So two different distinct cells. It looks like the secondary cell is trying to take the oomph out of the first cell, but the first cell's still staying together. Take a look at our buoyancy radar here, our ZDR radar. Everything in the hotter colors are storms that are continuing to maintain their positive buoyancy and maintain their updrafts across the area. So both of these cells still well within the realm of possibility to produce severe hail and perhaps a little bit of wind within the next several minutes. Looks like the flash flood warning for Antrim County has expired. Would not be surprised the flooding is still ongoing, of course. I really just like that it's a waiting game for our radar scans. There we go. Finally. Yeah, that's swinging out. It's quite the core. It's starting to pop up there. And once again, East Robinson Road at Larks Lake Road. Also East Robinson at South Pleasant View and Tower Road. It's literally the same roads I just read off about 20 minutes ago. So it's a 1-2 punch for portions of central Emmett County. Yeah, that lightning photo, that tree that exploded earlier is insane, Ryan.
Yeah, that was sent into us about 8 times. I was like, oh, goodness.
I mean, I've seen other photos of these trees that are just completely obliterated as well. Usually see a tree get struck by lightning and a couple branches get knocked down. These trees are just getting obliterated today. And again, that's all the power we have up there in the atmosphere. A lot of those higher fuel or the higher fuel readings that we have can leads to more copious and intense barrages of lightning, and that's what we're seeing. I mean, you zoom out on radar right now, and I know Ryan's radar is a little bit different than mine, but mine shows pretty much every single strike you could possibly get in a storm. And if I zoom out far enough, you can see like Emmett County is the entire northern half of Emmett County is completely covered in clouded ground or cloud to cloud bolts. So it's pretty intense. And that hail core is continuing to go right on down Robinson Road, right towards Bellston. On reflectivity radar, it's where we see these pinks changing over to the dark grays and the dark black shading. And we can see that in two different locations, east of Pellston and west of Pellston. Pellston's kind of sandwiched in between them right now. So if you're in Pellston and you have some reports to send in for hail, please do so, or surrounding areas. Please submit those with a coin or ruler or sports ball next to the hail. And please be specific with your time and location. Now, we do appreciate, like, you can say the county you live in, but again, a nearby crossroads or city is very, very helpful, or distance away from a city in a certain direction is very helpful when they're putting in these hail reports. So they kind of can hone in on exactly where inside of this core of rain and hail that this hail is falling, especially these larger hailstones. Ton of trees, storm damage. Thank you very much, Caroline. If you do have a picture to send in, if you're trying to send it in on our stream here, please don't do that. We can't see it in the stream comment section. But if you send it via Messenger or one of our other posts on Facebook, that is the better way to do it. So if you have any damage from wind, that is very helpful to us today. Please do so on a different comment section that is not our live stream. That area of wind continues to uptick. That little bit of jet that's kind of picked up on the backside of this storm here. Larks Lake Road at Robinson. That's going to be surging a little bit more to the east-southeast. And there's your flash flood warning for Emmett coming in right now. That pop in just a second. New green box will pop on the screen. There we go. So if you're in this green box now, this is the new flash flood warning popping in. The National Weather Service in Gaylord has issued a flash flood warning for central Emmett County until 4:30 p.m. At 1:38, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rainfall across the warned area. 1 to 3 inches of rain have fallen. And additional rainfall amounts, I just mentioned this with the back building storm here. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches are possible in the warned area still to come. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard, flash flooding caused by thunderstorms. Radar indicated. Special text does say, in hilly terrain, there are hundreds of low water crossings, which are potentially dangerous in heavy rain. Do not attempt to cross flooded roadways. Find an alternate route. Also, flooding is occurring or is imminent. It is important to know where you are relative to streams, rivers, or creeks in which can become killers in heavy rain. Campers and hikers should avoid streams and creeks at this current time. And I can attest to that. We saw this earlier on our page. Someone reported a stream in Central Lake. That's down here in Antrim County. I believe it's Knowles Creek. It was up a whole entire foot in, I believe, an hour's time. It's a small little creek, But again, all the rain funnels through there, and it was up over their walk bridge. And so again, you do want to be advised, flash flooding is occurring with these thunderstorms today with how much heavy rain is moving through the area. Now this core has kind of established itself. We can take a 3D scan of it, 30,000 feet and 25,000 feet. So 30,000 feet in the left cell, 25,000 feet in the right cell. Not as intense as we saw earlier, but it looks like they are also collapsing down on themselves right now, which means some gusty winds and hail are translating to the surface. Again, the wind in the special weather statement right now, 40-mile-per-hour wind possible. And the hail size they're going with nickel size, which is 0.88 inches in diameter. And there's the warning. I was wondering if they were. I was looking at that. I'm like, it's borderline. They're going to go warning, severe. And we'll wait for the details. Also, a report coming in from Goodhart, flash flooding report. I think that's ours, Ryan. Flooding up to a house in Goodhart, Michigan. Water entering the garage and basement. Yeah, that sounds like our report.
Yeah, that was courtesy of the viewer, but we really relayed that over.
Just realized I wasn't sharing my stream with you.
I haven't been watching anyway. I've been in Messenger.
How dare you? Just kidding. All right, so here comes our new orange box for the severe thunderstorm warning. A lot bigger area now. The National Weather Service in Gaylord has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for west central Sheboygan and east central Emmett in northern Michigan until 2:30 p.m. At 1:40, a severe thunderstorm was located over Pleasant View or near Pellston, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Hazard is quarter-sized hail. It's the only hazard. I believe the wind is not translating to the surface. Damage to vehicles is expected for hail. Timing-wise, severe thunderstorm really near Pellston, Alanson, and Brutus around 1:45. Indian River, Burt Lake, 1:55. Toppin Ubby, 2 o'clock, and Mullet Lake, 2:05. For protection, move to interior room on the lowest floor of the building. Please make sure you are away from windows. They put special text. Wow. Yeah. They put special text on this. It says, large hail, damaging wind, and continuous clouded ground lightning are occurring with this storm. Move indoors immediately. And lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you're closest to be struck by lightning. Also, torrential rainfall occurring with the storm. So there are portions of Emmett County right now in a special weather statement, severe thunderstorm warning, and a flash flood warning, especially in the Pellston area. We're kind of in this awkward situation right now where it is flash flood warning, seek higher ground, severe thunderstorm warning, seek lower ground. It's kind of that rare situation here. So if you are experiencing flooding, you want to get into your, especially if it's in your basement, you want to be on the lowest floor possible that's not being flooded, but also away from windows because wind-driven hail. Big hazard right now. I'm probably just going to go back to just pronouncing it the way I did have it, of Topinabi. Because you guys are now sending mixed pronunciations here in chat. And so I might just revert back to what I was saying. It's tough. Yeah, there's the core crashing down right now, just to the west of Pellston. VIL should show that. Yeah, there you go. Just taking a look at all our products here. Areas of greens and yellows. That's your hail core. Out here on North Air Road at Robinson Road. And North Air at Tower. Might be extending down to Phelps and North Ayer, but I think it's going to be still traveling straight on down Robinson Road. Again, there is a little bit of extension to the south. Most of this core is going to be heading into Pelston. Looks like Pelston could be in line for maybe a little bit larger hail in just a second, with some of these pinks now changing over to dark grays and dark black shadings. The marker here, the indicator on the GR2 software, is approximating 1.46 inch hail is tumbling around in this thunderstorm right now, heading into Pelston. So if that's translating to the ground, that's a pretty large hail. That can do some dents. Leave some dents, I should say, at the current time.
How are you pronouncing that T name, Tapanabi?
Yeah, Tapanabi.
That is correct.
That's how I was pronouncing it from the beginning.
Yeah, courtesy of Michigan.gov's pronunciation guide, it's Tapanabi.
Yeah, so I was right from the beginning. Ugh. That's okay. I appreciate everyone's help in trying to get that right. Rule of thumb, though, I mean, if we're mentioning your city a lot, that means you're in the line of fire for this thunderstorm. So if you're in Tapanabi by now and you've heard your name pronounced about 18 times in the last half hour, that's how you know you're kind of in the line of fire for these storms. Same thing with Alanson to the south. Although you haven't really seen much precipitation, we do see a sudden southward sag in this line of storms very, very quickly. In fact, Harbor Springs is now kind of in the line of this southern sag, even though you're not in a severe thunderstorm warning. So be advised, Harbor Springs, watch out for some gusty winds suddenly sagging south. You can see that in this velocity couplet here. It translated. It basically took a right turn, Ryan. It went from boom, boom, boom. You can run it really fast. It's going straight east and then it turned straight south. So now it's heading into Harbor Springs. So the wind aspect here in the southwest corner of the severe thunderstorm warning towards Harbor Springs, but the hail aspect located up here in the Pelston area, where you can see these pinks and the darker grays on radar. Now, again, we're still watching this storm to the north of Tapanabi. Tapanabi and Sheboygan. This cell in between you guys right now. That storm was previously severe thunderstorm warned. And there's a little bit of hail spike in there. But at the current time, the main concern is the Pelston area. Go ahead.
We have some reports filtering in from locals as well as dispatches. We have road closures in Emmett County. We have a lot of tree damage between Goodhart and Stutzmanville, as well as viewer reports that the tunnel of trees may have significant damage, and they're advising people to stay away from the areas. Also, several roads are washing out in Emmett County.
That does not help on top of the already stressed infrastructure out here that has seen its test. I mean, we saw the tunnel of trees had their roads washed out this spring from the flooding they had up there, and even if they rebuilt it, more road washouts for an area that was already hard hit. It's not a good combination back to back this year. So I'm thinking of you guys up here. But again, for the time being, you guys got to make it through this line of storms, and right now it is primarily just some hail and a little bit of flooding at the current time. Now, another thing to mention, of course, as continues to move through Emmett and Sheboygan counties, is the extreme amount of lightning that we're seeing out there today. Again, zoom out, and you can see just how many lightning strikes are on this storm, covering pretty much the entirety of the central portions of these counties. So even if you are not in a severe thunderstorm warning, you should still be inside. As we've seen trees basically getting exploded by lightning today, and if it explodes a tree, imagine what that could do to you. So please do not be outside today if you are in and around these thunderstorms that are strong to severe in nature. Honestly, it just sounds good to say Tapanabi. Like it just flows off the tongue really well. That's kind of like a personal preference. Power's out in Brutus. I would imagine that's probably due to the wind damage. I don't know if there's Emmett County's not consumers, I don't think. Maybe they are. Curious. Curious if we can see these outages on a map more specifically in terms of where the damage is hyper localized, but no, Emmett County is not. Well, scratch that. Western and West Central Emmett counties are not, but I can see a couple of power outages in the Pellston area and Douglas Lake area right now. Tapanabi is your new favorite pronunciation. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of lightning. Definitely an understatement out here today. It's crazy. But welcome to peak summer. Instability values through the roof as these storms continue to slide primarily into Sheboygan County at the current time. I guess I'll, unless Ryan wants to pull it up for me, one of our, oh yeah, I can't look at our ship cam, and I think it's offline anyways, but we do have other.
It is, yeah, it's offline.
Okay. How's the other Petoskey cam looking right now?
Actually, not that great. You can see the rain core to the right and some outflowish clouds currently over. It's a little gusty, not overly windy, but I mean, it's got a good view, but it's not anything spectacular.
Is your screen sharing or no?
No, I'm not on my computer.
Okay, gotcha. This is a reminder, if you're just tuning in, we have one severe thunderstorm warning in effect. This is in effect till 2:30 p.m. for portions of West Central and East Central. West Central Sheboygan and East Central Emmett, both in northern Michigan. 2:30 expiration time. At 1:40, severe thunderstorm was located over Pleasant View or near Pellston, moving east at 25. Quarter-size hail is the main hazard with this storm. The storm is already hitting Pellston, Alanson, and Brutus around 1:45 is what is said. Should be impacting Indian River here very soon. Well, they're not really near it. It says 1:55 on this for whatever reason. I think it's still going to be closer to 2. Tapanabi, 2 o'clock. Mullet Lake, 2:05. And a lot of our alert posts that we have on our page are going to be found on our Facebook page. Of course, we also have a lot of our wind, hail, and flooding reports coming in right now. That is on our social media pages as well. Again, Michigan Storm Chasers on Facebook. Every once in a while, some of our clips do make it on TikTok and YouTube, but right now, Facebook is the main way some of our flooding reports are being shown off, so feel free to follow us over there. Again, flash flooding ongoing. It was earlier in portions of Antrim, also Leelanau, and now, of course, in Emmett County where the storms are ongoing. A surge of wind, by the way, is continuing to shift around. It's now south of Pellston, between kind of southwest of Pellston, kind of out in the middle of nowhere there between Pellston and Harbor Springs. A lot of different downbursts ongoing within this storm as it continues to try and shift to the southeast. But another thing I wish is I do wish we had close together radar scans. We're just not getting those today. So we're just kind of rolling with the punches.
Did you see that update come through?
I have not seen any update come through.
They just added on a Tor Possible tag to the storm.
The box hasn't updated for me yet.
It just got pushed through an IEM. It's updated on Radarscoop too.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking at mesoanalysis. The unstable air on the surface is creeping closer to the storm, so I wonder if they think it might be latching on to the warmer air there. Definitely close, but it's not like, I don't know. If you look at surface cape on meso, you'll see what I'm talking about, but it's not like overlapping.
I'm looking right now.
Also, I got a video sent in to us. I'm not going to say by who or where it's, or not going to say who, but in Sheboygan County, people are parking underneath overpasses to shelter from the hail. We would advise you to not do that.
Again, that's especially if you're blocking a roadway that is illegal. Hey, extreme heat warning. That's for the east side of the state.
Yeah, I just got pushed on my MSC app.
Coming soon.
If you're confused, I'm confused too.
Yeah, I am confused. There's not really a inflow region on this. There's definitely gusty winds in there, but I mean, the only thing I can see here, of course, is you have converging wind fields. It's in a very particular location where you do have the lakes kind of all surrounding it. So there could be some micro scale features at play that are, or that could result in something quickly spinning up. So, and we wouldn't know because again, the radar scans are every 5 minutes apart. So it's lovely. We won't know because sometimes it might pop up in between scans. I mean, there's a lot of reds and greens mixing in here, Ryan, but they look, as I mentioned, they look all downbursty in nature.
I would agree with you.
Ryan, you have a typo on the latest post. It's Just a heads up.
Oh, okay, I got it. I was gonna say I read it through, I didn't see it, and I saw it the second time.
Yeah, text reads here on the severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm warning remains back till 2:30 at 1:55, or until 2:30 for west central Sheboygan, east central Emmett. At 1:55, a severe thunderstorm was located over Pellston, moving east at 25. Quarter-sized hail is the main hazard. Indian River, Brutus, Topinabe, 2 o'clock. Mullet Lake, 2:05. Aloha, 2:15. Hazards at the bottom do read 1-inch hail and tornado possible. I would imagine that report of underneath an overpass is on I-75 then?
Yep, that's correct.
That's frustrating. Yeah, find the nearest exit. Get off the highway. Because often, especially if you're blocking traffic or blocking shoulder, that's putting you more at a risk than if you were just off the road in the first place. So, again, if you're listening and you're on I-75 and you're trying to take shelter underneath an overpass or in the middle of the road or underneath or on the shoulder, again, pull off way, way, way off the road or get off the highway as soon as possible. Again, it's not just us that repeats these words all the time. It's your local meteorologist, it's your national meteorologist say the same thing. Bridges are not a safe place to be in. If you've seen Twisters or Twister, again, that's real life sometimes. Again, people have not made it from sheltering underneath an overpass. So, especially if there's now a tornado possible with this storm, it's not a good idea to be underneath an overpass if you're on I-75. Take a look at our hail cores. It looks like they are still there. Although the VIL doesn't really match up with the base velocity or base reflectivity. It keeps shifting around. Let me take a 3D. Let me take a 3D scan. This should tell me a little bit more. Yeah, it's in multiple locations right now. This entire swath of pink is just all hail right now. Pellston to Alanson to Topinabe, all of these areas kind of seeing the heavy rain to even some light hail at the current time. Again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for 1-inch hail. Would not be surprised if a couple of those hailstones are falling. But right now it looks like it's maybe cycling, or it just went through its phase where it just did drop a bunch of hail, and it's now kind of trying to re-strengthen and get another hail core going. But right now that is not happening yet. Still impressive cores nonetheless, even though it is cycling right now. 25,000 feet to 30,000 feet on these hail cores. And right now the rotation, I don't see any rotation, but if there's going to be an area here, it's somewhere on this forward flank, I think is what they're watching. There's this like little area from Alanson to Topanabe here that is, I think that's the Douglas Lake area. Let me double check. If I recall correctly. Sorry, no, that's Burt Lake. In the area of Burt Lake at the current time. Okay, welcome in for everyone that is tuning in again. Right now, severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Tornado possible, 1-inch hail right now in Emmett and Sheboygan counties. And it's very puzzling right now because we're not really exactly sure where the rotation is at. If we had to imagine if it's somewhere, it's going to be right in this area between Alanson and Topanabe. Dang it, I keep saying that. And it's going to drive me insane. So somewhere in the vicinity of Burt Lake right now, just to the north of Indian River. The storm is continuing to slide more east-southeast, so Indian River is actually kind of more in the line of fire now. It is a mess. The storm is just kind of existing and very messy and been producing a lot of hail and flooding. And right now, it looks like it's trying to interact with some sort of microclimate features out here that may be trying to spin up a brief tornado. And again, if you're on I-75 and taking you underneath an overpass, again, that is very idiotic to do. I will straight up say that to your guys' faces. Very bad thing to do. And again, you are putting yourself at very much in harm's way if you're underneath an overpass right now, especially since it is illegal. And of course, you are creating more of a hazard to you and yourself than whether or not you are going to pull off the interstate. So please pull off the interstate, find the nearest exit, and again, park off the side of the road as far as possible. Yeah, let's see, the latest scan right now coming in at 06, so it's about 2 minutes ago. Very much a mess, as I keep mentioning here. Very close to the I-75 corridor. Some of the hail already occurring. Main hazards right now, of course, is going to be the flash flooding and the lightning. But there's a little bit of wind and hail mixing in, still kind of in that vicinity of Burt Lake, along West Burt Lake Road, here in Indian Road and Hardwood Road, especially for some of the hail. Robinson Road also still near Timber Trail. And as mentioned, this is continuing to sag a little bit southeast towards the Topanabe and Indian River area. Alanson is not in the warning, by the way. I will mention this. If you're in downtown Alanson, that orange box just to the north of you right now. And so this is not warned for you, but this storm is very, very close. It's on your doorstep, and you're obviously already seeing some of the heavy rain and the lightning. But the severe hazards of wind and hail just to the north of you. In fact, some of them are sagging out of the box right now into your location. So at Alanson, you should probably be taking shelter just out of an abundance of caution. Same thing for Indian River. Half the city is in the warning and half the city is not. And this storm continues to pull a little bit southeast. So continues to latch onto something out there that is pulling it to the southeast. And so if you are downriver to the southeast, again, north of Wolverine, heading towards Onaway eventually, you do need to be on alert for perhaps some severe hail, sub-severe wind, and perhaps a tornado possible at the current time. It's a good question. There is rotation at the upper tilts, but that is 12,000 feet up. over the Brutus Road and Snyder Road area. But again, you translate it to the ground. I'm flipping through the different levels of the velocity here. You can see this is higher up, closer to the ground. The blues and the greens you see on radar here are a lot more disorganized closer to the ground. So there might be I mean, obviously this is pretty much a supercell at this point. So the entire meso is kind of rotating around, which makes sense why there is rotation at the higher levels, but none of this is really translating to ground. But still, again, the National Weather Service in Gaylord is not tempting fate. They're going tornado possible out of the abundance of caution, especially since up here in northern Michigan, and we've seen this happen before on unsuspecting days. You suddenly get a spin-up tornado out of the blue, and it's only on the ground for 2 minutes, and it's in between radar scans. So when we have these 5-minute apart radar scans today, it's going to be tough to tell whether or not some locations do get hit by a tornado or not. So you don't want to tempt fate. If you are in this orange box out there right now, you should be taking shelter until these storms pass.
Have not had any new reports coming in for hail in a while, which is good news so far. Joel, I think we lost your audio.
I'm just not speaking right now.
Okay.
Also frustrated because I'm sharing a link to our Facebook live stream, and people are saying the link doesn't work. And so, again, Facebook is just not built well around the live stream aspect. So, frustrating. Thankfully, when the app is released, we'll have live streams in the app for you guys to watch, and that'll save a lot of hassle. Have everything in one location. So, if you're just tuning in, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for another 16 more minutes here in the orange box. Again, respect the polygon. If you're in the orange designated polygon, you are currently in that severe thunderstorm warning. 1-inch hail possible and tornado possible are the hazards. Also, if you're off to the west, a flash flood warning in effect for central Emmett County. 1 to 3 inches of rain have fallen. Another 1 to 2 inches are possible, and it just continues to get worse, Ryan. I hate to say this, but this storm just continues to backbuild on Lake Michigan. It's pulling all that moisture off the water here. And so that stretch from Goodhart down to Pellston, getting hit with these rain showers that are producing these 2-inch per hour rainfall rates, it's just not stopping.
Yeah. Also, latest mesoscale update that unstable environment creeps closer and closer to the south. It continues on its right turn. It may try to latch. If you haven't looked at the 2 o'clock update, go ahead and do that. It's getting really close. Especially if it keeps backbuilding like that, it may try to latch in the back edge of that into the warmer unstable environment.
Yeah, it's not even in any it's not really has any, or it doesn't really have any surface cape right now.
Not yet, but it's getting close.
Yeah. So this storm is running on most unstable cape, which makes sense. So 3,000 of that. Yeah, 3,000.
What's your lapse rate at 3 kilometer?
Mid-level lapse rates 7.5.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Low-level relapse rates obviously are nothing because there's no surface-based cape, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but again, back to what I was saying. Again, once we have our MSC app out soon, that'll put everything into one location. And obviously, we're going to be working on getting our posts on our app. So anytime you see one of our Facebook posts comes out, it'll be implemented right in the app. Again, that's going to be probably, I would imagine, Ryan, a future update. But once we get everything into one location, that'll kind of help you guys, the viewers, instead of bouncing between 4 different apps with all of our content. It'll be all in one location. So we're very excited to release that very, very soon. Hopefully here on the 1st of July. I know we said the end of the month, but again, development takes time. We want to make sure we're doing it right. So we're aiming here for Wednesday, Thursday timeframe here in the 1st or the 2nd of the month. So be patient. It's a process, and we're excited to release a version to you that is hopefully as bug-free as possible. And that's what we've been working on here over the past couple days. So stay tuned.
Yeah, the app is out to about 40 different testers right now, and we're gathering feedback and actively working on those. So once those are fixed, we'll be good to submit to the app and Play stores, and then from there it's in their hands. So it's a matter of days here.
Yes, streams are always going to be free. No matter what, they're always going to be free. So on the app, again, the app is free to download. Obviously, it'll have, a small little space for ads, but again, just like any other platform that you guys watch us on, Facebook, YouTube, those platforms have ads as well. So again, the app is basically like YouTube, but you're going to have the app, and it's going to be nice because you guys can send in reports to us too, and that'll be very, very helpful on days like today, where there is flash flooding ongoing, damage due to lightning, damage due to wind, and hail. It'll be very nice. Yeah, good news is right now I'm still not seeing anything that is popping to my eye in terms of rotation. They're still obviously maintaining the tornado possible on this severe thunderstorm warning. As I mentioned, a couple microclimate features may mix in. As Ryan was mentioning, this is also sagging south into a better environment, a more unstable environment. A lot of surface-based cape. A lot of these values you see here on mesoanalysis, obviously way far away from the storm, but that surface-based fuel that we see, it's measured in joules per kilogram, and those values of 1,000 or higher is what we usually would need for a severe weather day. We're just very unstable storms, and there are values out there right now about 5,000 to 5,500, so about 5 times the normal allotted value for severe weather. But these values are evident way down here towards Mason, Oceana Lake County, so way closer to West Michigan. And again, no storms really at the current time in this area. But, of course, we have to be watching because it's like a powder keg out there. You put some sort of interaction with the microclimate features out there, and all of a sudden you can have a severe thunderstorm pop up in 5 minutes tops. So we have to be careful because it's very unstable out there, but there's a lot of dry air, I'd imagine, as well. Let me check the SKU-T. A stable layer, yeah. Stable layer out there right now and a little bit of dryness, so. Topinabe, Indian River. The storms have continued to sag south, and they're now heading into your neck of the woods. Currently over Topinabe at the current time. Again, I understand the pronunciation is different for everybody. I'm going with the pronunciation that sounds the best to me. So I know you guys know where Topinabe is located, even if I'm pronouncing it wrong. So just kind of roll with the punches with me here. It's over the M27 corridor as well, from I-75, kind of all the way up here to the Polish Line Road region. Sheboygan right now primarily just getting heavy rain. Sheboygan itself not in this severe thunderstorm warning, but again, the frequent lightning and the heavy rain is impacting your area. So be advised at the current time of some minor flooding. Current time right now, 2:20. So we just rolled the 2:20 time frame. I am Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzman here, live with a severe thunderstorm warning in Sheboygan County and extreme eastern Emmett County, but this thunderstorm is primarily now in Sheboygan. Now, I will say this, it continues to back build, so we may see another warning pop up for Emmett. That is not the main concern right now. The main concern is in west central Sheboygan County for the Indian River and Tapanabe region. Question about the app. Our app coming out. Yes, it'll be available on the App Store and on Google Play.
Waterspout observed on a marine warning. West of Mackinac Bridge, including Little Traverse Bay.
Wow. Waterspout observed, huh?
Yeah, it just came through IEM.
I'd be watching that Petoskey cam then.
Good point.
Yeah. That's heading for Harbor Springs then. So this blue box you see that just popped on the screen, we have velocity radar pulled up, which is your rotational signatures. We don't do this often because marine warnings are more for boaters, and not many boaters do read these, see these streams, but we do announce them every once in a while. This is important because this is actually heading towards the land right now. The National Weather Service and Gaylord has issued a special marine warning for Norwood, Michigan to 5 nautical miles west of the Mackinac Bridge. That's a lot further away than 5 miles from Mackinac Bridge. Unless a nautical mile is a lot larger than I thought. Anyways. Includes Little Traverse Bay until 2:45 p.m. At 2:21, a severe thunderstorm producing water spouts was located near the mouth of Little Traverse Bay, moving east at 10 knots. Hazard, water spouts and wind gusts of 34 knots or greater. This is public observed. Impact, water spouts can easily overturn boats and create locally hazardous seas. Small craft could be damaged in briefly higher winds and suddenly higher waves. Locations impacted include Harbor Springs. Once again, water spout observed on the water in Little Traverse Bay at the current time. I was going to say 5 nautical miles west of Mackinac Bridge. That's so far away. Look at how far away the blue box is from the Mackinac Bridge. That's got to be like 20 miles at least. I think it's just the way the coding is on some of these alerts. It's weird like that. But yeah, that blue box you see on your screen is a special marine warning for the waters. For an observed water spout. This is heading for Harbor Springs right now. Ryan, what are you seeing on the weather camera if you have it pulled up?
Right now, not much. I'm going back on playback to see if I can see anything. I don't believe I'm going to, though. I'm trying. I'm looking. Can you hear me okay? No,
Yes.
you can't. Oh, yeah, you can.
Yes, I can.
Cool. Believe you might have a message. Stand by. Negative.
Okay. Back building storm must be doing something weird there. I mean, that makes sense. Do I need a... Okay. I wonder when that was reported at, because there is a couple of... There's a little bit of red and greens that were mixing in there.
What timestamp was that?
07. 20 minutes ago. A little bit of reds and greens kind of mixing in over the waters there. From the top of the hour to around 07, 010, or 10.
Well, I got perhaps more localized report coming in. Stand by.
Okay. But while we kind of work on the details there, it looks like this core is now starting to really pick up its rainfall, at least. I'll check the core here. Still up around 25,000 feet. At the current time, it looks like it's more heavy rain than it is hail. But you can see there's a lot of these darker grays and these blacker shades here in the Tapanabi region. Again, if you're just tuning in from the Tapanabi region, I know the pronunciation is, you guys have given me 4 different pronunciations for the city. I'm going with what rolls off the tongue for me. And so I understand I may be pronouncing it differently for you guys, but if I sit here and struggle forever and ever, it's going to piss me off. So I'm just going to keep saying what I'm saying. And again, it's over Tapanabi right now and also heading into the Indian River. Indian River still getting light rain at the current time, but this is continuing to sag a little bit further south towards you guys right now. And as a reminder, it's a severe thunderstorm warning for 1-inch hail and tornado possible. But at the current time, really difficult to kind of determine whether or not there is rotation in the area. I'm going to try and get an updated storm motion vector here so I can kind of maybe get a better sense of if there is rotation. And right now, it looks like there is a downburst signature. So reds and greens are coming together over Tapanabi. M27 at Tapanabi Mail Route and Woodmancy Road.
The report was dropped as an LSR 215 just west of Harbor Springs.
At 15 west of Harbor Springs, okay.
215 offshore of Harbor Springs. I can drop a screenshot in chat where they drop the LSR.
Yeah, I see it now on the GR2 software.
Okay.
So that came in.
Look at the camera at that time. I do not see anything of note.
Okay.
Not saying it's not there, but it's just not visible from this distance if it is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Our the boat cam there has Wi-Fi issues right now, because I would probably have seen it.
Yeah, I'm still trying to cycle through these minutes and see if I can pick up anything. I can see a lot of scud, but nothing definitive.
Yeah. It's still back building though in the Little Traverse Bay, so it could produce more here over the coming minutes. I may see a new special marine warning issued for the rest of the bay out of an abundance of caution. We'll see. Not really concerned as much for tornadoes right now. Again, not really seeing the signatures that you'd usually see for rotation. Again, there's a lot of reds and greens mixing in here, so any one of these little signatures could, briefly do a quick spin up, especially since there's so much happening in this region of the state in terms of microclimate features that often don't get seen on radar like we're watching right now. Again, we're looking at textbook things like reds and greens close together, brighter reds and greens close together that kind of make these hooking motion kind of looks like hands being held together with the reds and greens kind of circling around each other. And right now we're just seeing reds and greens, but they're just kind of doing paint splatters all over the place right now in terms of likely downburst signatures where these winds are collapsing down and going out in all directions versus rotation, which is still dangerous. Again, damaging straight line winds, downbursts can produce just as much wind as a brief tornado. So you still want to be taking shelter, even if this isn't a tornado on the ground per se. Again, still want to be taking shelter due to these downburst winds. It is 2:30, and the warning has expired. So it has run out of time officially. We'll have to see if they extend it. At the current time, we are now warning free. Ryan, you said the pronunciation that I've been saying is correct, right? From the government website?
Correct.
Well, it sounds like the locals need to get on that because, again, the official pronunciation is Tapanabi, according to the government website.
I'm going to make sure. Tapanavi.
Tapanabi.
Tapanavi. Listen to it yourself if you want to, but this sure sounds like Tapanavi to me. This stream at the end will be renamed Tapanavi stream. We've used that word probably 100 times.
Comes a new warning.
Oh, well. 60 in quarters.
Yep. I'm watching you guys type in the pronunciations in chat, and you're spelling it out like it's supposed to be said Tapanabi. I see top dash in dash a dash b. That's Tapanabi.
I think we're getting trolled here, Joel.
Again, people keep typing in top in abi. That's crazy. Okay, someone says the pronunciation you're using is correct. Technically, the locals use the modernized pronunciation, but based on native pronunciations, you are correct. Okay, at least I don't feel as bad now. Here comes our new warning. National Weather Service in Gaylord has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for central Sheboygan County in northern Michigan until 3:15 p.m. Guess what? At 2:31, a severe thunderstorm was located over Tapanabi, or near Indian River, moving east at 15 miles per hour. Hazards here, they bumped it up to the wind being a factor now. 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. Radar indicated. I'll be stuck saying this word inside of my head for the rest of the day. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roof siding and trees. Locations impacted for timing include Aloha, Alverno, Aloha State Park, and Mullet Lake around 2:35 p.m. Again, it could be wind-driven hail of 1 inch in diameter. Please shelter away from windows if you're in this new orange polygon showing up for central Sheboygan County. If you know you live inside that orange polygon, it's always good to remember where you're located on a map. So that way, we can't read off where everyone's house is located, obviously, during stream. So knowing where you're located on a county-based map like this is very crucial, especially when you see these orange boxes pop up on the screen. Yeah, at least I know Sault Ste. Marie and not Salt. The chat is just going crazy right now with the pronunciations. Just a reminder, we do have an observed water spout that was previously ongoing near Harbor Springs. Not to get lost in the pronunciations of it all, but yeah, if you're in Harbor Springs, watch out for possible water spouts. And if you're in central Sheboygan County, watch out for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. Yes. Yes. Smash that like button and share buttons to help push the stream out to more people. Yes, especially for those who live in Topinabe. Of course. Well, maybe okay, so if it's pronounced, because you guys have been adding sometimes the H. I've seen the pronunciations you guys have put in chat with an H after an A, but if it's actually a hard A, then it would be Topinabe. Like the hard words for each word here are Topinabe. That's the only way I can see I'm doing it wrong, is if I'm pronouncing the A incorrectly. So let me know if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but it rolls off the tongue better. AH. Hopefully you guys understand that. Like, it sounds better, Topinabe.
Joel, go listen to the pronunciation guide.
I don't want to, but I will.
Just because I got your audio here in Discord, so I'm not getting a full pipe through. It sounds like Topinabe to me.
Topinabe.
Did you guys hear that?
Topinabe.
That's the official pronunciation right there. I just played it through the stream.
Topinabe.
Topinabe.
So I'm not going crazy.
No, Topinabe. That's what I've been saying.
Okay.
Sweet. I will never again go down I-75 without saying Topinabe. Great. You're welcome. Yeah, but it is.
Topinabe.
That is the official government pronunciation of the city. I'm smirking because of the comments. You guys are still being funny. It's just funny to see like all of the humor you guys have. Like the one where I will never go down I-75 again without saying Topinabe. You're welcome. This is how you guys know we're human. This is skin, by the way. We are not robots. We pronounce things that are more prone to be human dialect than robotic. So, but in this case, the pronunciation. This is actually a voice recorded. This isn't. I don't think this is a person or a robot that is saying this. This is actually someone who like actually record. Like they actually record their voice of them saying it, and they recorded it to the Michigan Gov website. So. There you go. The area of wind and hail, if you guys are wondering right now, obviously has passed to the east of Topinabe, and it is now on Mullet Lake. It is approaching M33 pretty quickly, south of Orchard Beach.
Hey, Joel.
Yes, what's up?
We have a pea-sized hail report in none other than Topinabe.
Sounds good. Thank you for the report, whoever that was.
It was via IAM.
Alrighty. That's what a weatherbot would say, Joel, if that's your real name. Thanks. Topinabe. It says say it faster so it doesn't sound like you're saying all the four, which I think I've been saying. I've heard you guys pronounce Schwartz Creek incorrectly before. Isn't it just Schwartz Creek? Ryan, we're gonna get
We're
like,
gonna go down a bunny trail.
you know what's funny, Ryan, is we're probably gonna get voice memos from
We already have
okay.
in Messenger. We already have. People are saying that the top and na, the ah, instead of an ah, it's supposed to be
Okay. Tupinubby, like that. You said they're supposed to be like
top and nubby.
Topinubby. Okay.
I would just go with Michigan.gov site says because technically speaking,
Yeah.
that's official.
And someone said it's the native dialect too, if that's the thing, which is probably what Michigan Gov went off of. Also, heat advisories coming in for pretty much all of the Upper Peninsula, or at least northern, lower, and parts of the Upper Peninsula here, which pretty much fills in the rest of the counties, I believe, for heat-related alerts. I'm about ready to go take a break. When's this warning going to be done? 33 minutes. I'm glad we can be a little bit entertaining during some severe weather coverage, but we aim to try and get the details. I know there's only one warning right now, but thank you guys for also entertaining in chat. I can see all the comments right now. It's almost, I could just say that, it's almost out of T-ville. T-town, T-ville. And it's and yeah, you're right. It's right along I-75. So no matter what, everyone in Michigan, if everyone's going up to the Mackinac Bridge, you're going to be passing by this city. So for those who are here now and ever go up north from now on, you're just going to remember this time in history, June 29th, 2026, when Joel said Topinabee all the time, 100 times in 30 minutes. It's like a one of those bookworms or brainworms. It's gonna be stuck in your head forever. You never remember or never forget it. Ryan, dang it.
Yes.
Ryan has sent my nickname to Topinabee Man.
I couldn't pass the opportunity.
Um, 3.62 inches of rain report here in Topinabee. Was the report here just a short while ago. 6-hour total, so averaging just over half an inch per hour there. The casual rain, but it's still a lot of rain nonetheless.
Petition to change Topinabee to T-town.
There we go. It does appear that the rain is starting to subside here in Emmett County, which is nice because, again, it was training over the same area for a while, and the Goodhart to Pellston area doesn't need any more rain. And the special marine warning is also expired, Ryan. Which makes sense. There's no more convection over the water. I'm also getting hangry. That's probably part of the reason. I have not yet had food today. It's 2:45 in the afternoon, by the way. Actually, I lied. I had one granola bar. But that's the thing, Ryan, is I can't eat because then it's just more severe weather. It's the ultimate jinx. Cloud tops on these storms, by the way, 44,000 feet still. Still pretty tall thunderstorms at the current time. Alanson is not in a flash flood warning, but I understand that some flooding is ongoing in Alanson right now, and so there could be an extension of a flood advisory or flood warning south. It might be short-lived, but we'll keep an eye out for that. If you guys have flooding reports to send in, please send them our way so we can toss those over to the National Weather Service ASAP. Yeah, the National Weather Service is the one that issues these warnings you see on the screen right now. So okay, so actually what I'm going to do, Ryan, is after the stream, so you guys don't have to message our inbox anymore. Please don't fill up our inbox with pronunciations. I'm just going to take off the load from our Michigan Storm Chasers Messenger on my Facebook page, which is Meteorologist Joel Fritzma. I will put, you don't do it yet because I won't put a post up yet. I'll make a specific post, like a text post or something, and it'll say, drop your pronunciations for Tapanabi in the comments below. And then you guys can send in your, it's like an American Idol, like your submissions for how you pronounce this city. Or again, any other pronunciations you guys have in this area, because again, it may not be just Tapanabi. Maybe other cities in this area. Like I learned today, Alanson is not Allenson or whatever I was saying earlier, but for some reason, just Tapanabi sounds really good for me. I don't know why. But yeah, I'll put a post up on my meteorology page here soon, and I'll let you guys debate amongst yourselves in the comments. Flash flood warning incoming, Sheboygan. It'll be interesting because when I put that post out, you guys also, like, that are locals to Sheboygan County may also have different dialects too. Like, you guys may live in the same city but also have different dialects, so there might be some clashing between members who actually live there. So it'll be interesting. Again, I'm a born and raised Michigander, but some of these cities, you know, not great at it. So so here comes the new flash flood warning. National Weather Service in Gaylord issued a flash flood warning for west central Sheboygan County, northern Michigan, until 5:45 p.m. At 2:48, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. 2 to 3.5 inches of rain has already fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of half an inch to an inch are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard here, flash flooding caused by thunderstorms. Radar indicated. And if you have flash flooding reports to send over when it's safe to do so, please do so with a time, location, if possible. Be advised of any stream crossings as well for washouts. Those culverts can get washed out pretty quickly, especially in the hilly terrain. I'm not going to read that. I'm not reading that comment. For those who are watching on YouTube, that's really funny. End VR 105's comment. Our YouTube comment section, by the way, for those who are watching on Facebook, our YouTube comment section is always a little bit more unhinged than our Facebook comment section. So we also have a lot of moderators over here on YouTube too that keeps it entertaining, I guess, in chat. So again, if you're going to come over and watch on YouTube, our YouTube channel is at MI Storm Chasers. Feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already, of course. Again, we all of our video content and all of our past live streams you can come and watch over here on our Facebook or on our YouTube channel. So all of our streams dating back through 2023 are here for you guys to watch. We'll have a surge actually now on the wind. South Brown Trail and Devereaux Lake Road. And this is approaching M33 within the next couple seconds. Also, the hail, if anything, is already over that. Northeastern State Trail also being impacted here in a couple seconds. Storm is starting to kind of lose its oomph, which is good. You know what that means? We can take a break. You can literally see these storms ride the ridge, Ryan. Just kind of zooming over the top of the state, curling over. Temperatures right now in lower Michigan into the low 90s for some locations. Heat index value is getting closer to 100 already as we hit those peak heating hours. I think Tapanabi's had this much attention ever. Yeah. Tapanabi's going to turn into this booming metropolis all because of Michigan Storm Chasers. Of Tapanabi days. I can see it now. As long as I get an invite, I get to cut the ribbon for Tapanabi days. You know where to find me. Or get like the key to the city for pronouncing it wrong.
I'm about to go Google what they have in town,
Yeah.
if anything.
Michigan Storm Chasers' new North headquarters is in Tapanabi, Michigan.
Tell me why I put T in Google and the first thing that popped up was Tapanabi.
Mm-hmm.
That's creepy. Hold up. Google pronunciation is different than Michigan's. Oh gosh, here we go. According to Google, the AI overview, mind you.
Oh yeah, AI.
Top N as in EN, UHB.
Top N Ubi.
Yes, according to Google.
Top N B. Top N Ubi.
The great debate of 2026 will be the pronunciation of this town.
I mean, at this point, might as well just rename the stream instead of severe weather coverage. Tapanabi pronunciation stream. Speaking of severe weather, this storm is continuing to die out, thankfully. 17 minutes left in the severe thunderstorm warning. The hail and the wind, if anything, right now is just to the east of Mullet Lake. Kind of in the Mullet Lake Woods, Orchard Beach vicinity, kind of heading over towards Long Lake and Black Lake. And Hangor Heights, which is probably also pronounced wrong because there's an E at the end. Hangori Heights, which I believe is just a neighborhood along Black Lake. But if you know you're from that area, I just mentioned your town, so it is heading your way. It's a good sign to be taking shelter. There's also, again, it's decent lightning out there. Our lightning has definitely settled down quite a bit. But it's still existing out here in Carter Road near Ostrander Road, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere here, just to the east of Indian River. Joel must be a riot at parties. How'd you know? The storm in Indian. The cell in Indian River keeps ingesting these tiny little cells, tiny little showers. We'll see if that has any implications on the storm. It continues off to the east-southeast. It's trying to be surface-based or not. I hope it doesn't become surface-based. I don't need the storm to become suddenly strong and severe like it already is, but just getting second wind as it heads towards Onaway. Do not prefer that right now. Okay. Yeah, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for another. Oh, just kidding. They actually canceled it early. It was supposed to be in effect for another 15 minutes, but they just decided, hey, it is below severe limits. Still looks like it's a little windy out there heading towards the Black Lake area, but yeah. I'm hovering over the pixels right now. They're 40 miles per hour at 3,000 feet off the ground, so that is below severe limits. But again, we can't see anything below 3,000 feet, so it's tough to tell without ground truth. So if you see something different out there, please report it. It'll be nice because once we have our MSC app out, you guys will be able to just go right into the app. It's, I think, at most 3 clicks of a button to get a report sent in. Very, very quick. It's fun. Okay, there you go. There's the heat advisors coming in for the Upper Peninsula. Or they're updating it, I should say. So it's nice. I don't know if I can actually show this perfectly, but you can see up at the top of the screen, if you're facing a certain direction, you can point your phone in a certain direction. It's really nice, Ryan, the compass feature on the reporting app. So you just come in here, it's so you take a video, photo, and you can just submit it. So it's geotagged. It's really it's fun. I haven't submitted a report yet just to test it, but excited to use that feature in the future. Yes, you can send in real-time video, in fact. So
That's the only thing you can send in. You cannot send in anything else from your gallery. It's got to be taken from your camera. That way, false reporting is cut down.
Oh, that's actually a good point. So you have to take it in person on the app.
With your camera app via photo or video. That's the only way you can submit.
That makes sense. That's foolproof, honestly. I didn't even think about that. So remember that. I guess if you guys have friends and family that are expecting to get the app as well, tell that to friends and family. We'll put out a informational post on all the features in the app on the first release day. But yeah, that's one of the features that I did not even know existed, that you can only upload in the app. You can't take existing photos from your camera roll. So, but it's smart.
In Chat G, Joel,
Mm-hmm.
what's being discussed there right now, I've been watching that potential. And I'm also agreeing with what that person is saying in Chat G right now. I'll have to watch that carefully.
Yeah. I did mention at the beginning of the stream, so keep an eye on it. That's a holy cow. See how big that this severe thunderstorm warning is? I haven't seen a severe thunderstorm warning that big in forever. Except here in Grand
That's
Rapids area.
that was actually funny because I was talking to our app developers behind the scenes, and they're from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So Environment Canada issues those big polygons.
Oh, yeah.
So I was joking with him. This looks like one of your guys' warnings.
That's true. Yeah, so we'll have to watch that southern flank then. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about there for a later development, which makes sense because it was originally heading more east. But it does often go north as well. Look at that MCV on that too.
Yeah, it's a very, very potent line that's continuing to crank. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Usually this complex is die by now, but it's just continuing to crank. No model. And here's the instability of the pattern we're in is sometimes that these storms just do what they want, and not one single model can get something right. And that's what we're seeing with this line right now. So we'll see how long it lasts and if it can track into the UP later on tonight. But for right now, it's looking pretty potent there for Minnesota and Wisconsin. Joel, I still think we're going to be live tonight for Isle Royale.
We might be live for Isle Royale here soon. I mean, that severe thunderstorm warning goes all the way up pretty close to Isle Royale. And there's a special marine warning for pretty much all of western Lake Superior. So we'll see. So what I'm hearing is we got to take a break now.
Yes, if we can get a break in now, I'd say do it.
Okay.
I have a few things to do as well that I need to get on.
Yeah, I also have a few things to do, and that includes lunch or breakfast or whatever it is at this point.
Yeah, that's priority number one. We also got to get a forecast up for Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, we love these patterns, guys.
Always
So
on
yeah,
our
I think we
toes.
should hop off now. We should definitely try to hop off now all we can.
Yeah. The storm is it's still strong. There's still a decent amount of lightning out there, perhaps some small hail. If you guys have pea-sized hail report in, feel free to do so. But at this time, it looks like these storms are starting to dwindle. Again, they're kind of ahead of the best storm field, which is located down here south or in southern Michigan. So we'll keep an eye on them, of course, behind the scenes. We'll be live back here for part 3 coverage if needed. And hopefully not mentioning the city Topinabee. What was it? Topinabee?
Topinabee.
It's Nenuh. Topinabee. But they say it fast. So hopefully it's not part 3 Topinabee stream, but we'll see. Anyways. All severe thunderstorm warnings have been canceled. Flash flood warnings remain in effect for central Emmett and central Sheboygan counties. Multiple reports of 3 to 4 inches of rain have come in. Pellston just reported a 4.65 inch report. There also a 51 mile per hour wind gust report. Severe thunderstorm wind gust report from the Pellston area. And of course, we did have a water spout observed, and technically Ryan, they could survey that as Michigan's 23rd tornado of the year. That would be an EFU.
Also.
Because if it's supercellular tornadic waterspout. I mean, I went back and looked at Tornado Archive the other day, Ryan, and we had, it was 2023 or 2024. They officially counted 2 tornadic waterspouts along Lake Michigan as EFUs. So they weren't even on land. They were just barely offshore. But I remember there was like supercells out there. So yeah, maybe they'll do that for Harbor Springs. If that is true, that would be the 23rd tornado of the year, even though it's pretty much just a waterspout. And for those who are curious, yes, there is a difference between waterspouts. There's fair weather waterspouts and technically supercellular waterspouts like we'd had today, where they're associated with the updraft of the thunderstorm. So we'll see what the determination is, but now granted, Traverse Bay had one a week or two ago, and that was not confirmed as a tornado. So even though it was a pretty decent sized one.
I was always in the impression that I had to touch and do like ground contact, not just water contact.
Yeah. Topinabee. I'm gonna keep saying that after the stream's over with. I hope you guys realize that. Before we leave, a couple super chats to catch up on. Julie, $5 super chat for the Topinabee No, wait. She says for the Topinabee to T-Town Fund. I guess they're changing the name, according to Julie. Obviously kidding, but thank you, Julie. Jade today, $20 super chat. Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Amber Rose, sending 1,000 joules. Shane S, $5 super chat, saying this has been one of the funniest streams in a while. Thanks, gentlemen, for being good sports about this. Laughing face emoji. Of course, we are very personable sometimes, and pronunciations are one of those times. So appreciate you as always, Shane. Fun Times is one of our moderators here. $20 super chat, saying, so what I'm sensing is that Topinabee should be on a future MSC shirt. Besides that, awesome jobs to the whole MSC staff and crew today. Heart emoji. Happy Monday. Thank you very much. Fun. I don't think it'll be on a t-shirt, but we do appreciate the support. Also,
I'm today right now.
No, don't. Also, today sending 1,000 joules. Thank you very much, today once again. It says say it fast, and it's pronounced Topinabee or Topinabee. E-N-U-H. Topanubby. Say it fast. Okay. Topanubby. That's your guys' words, not mine. You said it in chat. Say it fast, or don't say it at all. Maybe on our Michigan Adventures Chaser channel, Ryan. That'll be our next adventure, visiting the town of Topanubby.
We'll have to send you there.
Mm-hmm. You guys will have to let me know what the hot spots are in the booming metropolis of Topanubby. Sorry. But before we leave, again, we just went through all our super chats. We're going to go ahead and read off our trusted partners. None of our trusted partners have Topanubby in the name, so we don't have to worry about that. We have 22, I think, trusted partners now here at MSC. And again, they are the main reason why we're able to do this 24/7, 365 days a year. So feel free to reach out to these trusted partners. They're licensed and insured. And even if you don't need services done now, it's good to have them on standby in case you do or are affected by severe weather in the future. And so again, a lot of these trusted partners do dabble in restoration or exterior home construction. So feel free to write down some of these numbers. I'll also tell you guys which part of the state these sponsors are, or trust partners and sponsors are located in. Number 1, Northwest Michigan. This is you guys, A-Class Construction and Restoration. Number there on the bottom of the screen, 833-298 roof is the number. So A-Class Construction and Restoration. Also, reading through the rest of them in alphabetical order, we have American Arbor, located in Southwest Michigan. Apex Restoration and Mitigation, based in Genesee County and Thumb. Battle Creek IT, for all of your IT needs across the Lower Peninsula. Carlton Equipment, specializing in equipment rentals across the Lower Peninsula. Crystal Flash, for all of your fuel and propane delivery needs across the entire state. Ink Media, for all of your growth-focused digital marketing strategies and website design. Katz Roofing and Siding, based out of Lansing and Potterville. Kuiper Tree Care, based in West Michigan. McKay Tree Specialist, based in Southeast Michigan. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, located in Sanilac and St. Clair counties. On Top Roofing, based out of Livingston County and surrounding areas. Rainbow Restoration, for all of your restoration needs in West Michigan. For all of your LTE wireless radio needs, I have mine right here. Rapid Radios, got you covered. Company is based out of Grand Rapids. Ronald McDonald House Charities of Detroit. Feel free to donate to the charity today. Helps families in need find the comfort they deserve in times of sickness. Surf Pro, for all of your storm cleanup needs 24/7 across the entire state. Storm Guard Roofing and Construction, based in Oakland, Macomb, and Washtenaw counties, specifically their Metro Detroit North branch. Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors, located in West Michigan. Top Notch Tree Care, covering the 127 corridor from Lansing to Jackson. Victor's Home Solutions, located in the Tri-Cities area. That is going to be Midland, Bay City, and Saginaw. Northern Steel Sales and Designs, for all of your cold-formed steel garages, buildings, and outbuildings. And we have one more, of course, and it is Portland Federal Credit Union. For all of your banking needs across the Lower Peninsula, especially Southern Michigan, turn to Portland Federal Credit Union. That is all of our trusted partners here at MSC. And again, we have very few spots open. If you guys would like to become a trusted partner, feel free to reach out to Chandler, our growth director here at MSC, and vice president Chandler at MichiganStormChasers.com. You also noticed today we had a significant lack of weather cameras being shown off, and that's because we don't have many up here in northern Michigan. So if you're watching from northern Michigan and would love to sponsor a weather camera for your city and your business, Ryan, who has been behind the scenes here, is your contact. Ryan I guess we could link it in stream. But again, if you want to reach out to Ryan directly, his email is ryan@michiganstormchasers.com. I'm getting a weather alert for a beach hazard statement for Benzie and Manistee counties. Alrighty. Well, there's not much else going on out there. We're watching the storm, of course, a couple storms in northern Michigan, especially eastern Upper Peninsula, and heading over to Presque Isle County. And a couple showers, actually, elevated in nature, moving on to Lake Michigan. Ryan, we'll have to watch those. There's some showers moving into West Michigan right now in a very unstable atmosphere.
Better go eat your food.
I will be going to get some food. And of course, we'll also be watching a third complex that is moving up into northeastern Minnesota. This is heading towards Keweenaw County, which is the island of Isle Royale. It's in Duluth right now with a wind threat at the current time. And that is going to be continuing off to the northeast with time towards Grand Marais, Minnesota, and as mentioned, Keweenaw County. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on northern Michigan. We'll keep an eye on stuff that is on Lake Michigan. But for now, no severe weather. And so we're going to go ahead and roll the outro. I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma, signing off from our headquarters down in West Michigan and not in Topanubby. We'll see you guys later probably for more severe weather coverage. Have a great rest of your afternoon. We'll talk probably pretty soon. Have a great afternoon.